Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Tetcher, and this is a postcast of a game in the ESL Go4Heroes number 23. I forgot to hit record, so this is a post-game cast, but I will try and get this going, just so there is a VOD on my channel. So ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, it is going to be Team ArthasS, formerly ArthasS Stroitram, and it is going to be Andy Lendy on the Jaina, BKB on the Tyrael, Sevkaja on the Tyrande, ZW Hydra on the Tassadar, and Unstable on the Valor. And on the right-hand side, it is Cast Aside, and playing the Falstad, it is Grulham. Coco Brown is playing the Sylvanas. Nomi is on the ETC. Glucosa is on the Mafurian, and playing the Lost Vikings, it is Freezer. Currently seeing ArthasS head up to that top lane. They're going to be able to grab that shrine to get that vision as quick as possible. However, we see the big group up coming in from Cast Aside here. They are in fact just going to go for that very early push using that Sylvanas onto the bottom lane. That black arrow disabling at least one of the towers. Nomi is tanking the other one though, so they're not able to disable both towers. Nomi actually takes a lot of damage here from this early on. He's going to be backing up. And we're actually seeing BKB and Sevkaja make their way down. They may look for an engage here. In comes the Elderwind Smite onto Grulham. Glucosa does get stunned. Nomi coming in for the face melt to try and protect his team. Glucosa being dropped very low. Nomi gets dropped low. He goes down to the Blizzard and the Unstable Vault. Grulham also backing out there, being dropped very low. And we're going to see, because of this, Team ArthasS go for this bottom chest and pretty much get it guaranteed. However, while this is going on, the Vikings are in the top and mid lane, soaking up. Only Tassadar is in the mid lane for the team of ArthasS. Unstable getting burst out quite quickly. He goes down to the lightning rod of Grulham. There is the Lunar Flare coming out of Tyrande there, and she does get stunned by the face melt of Nomi. Sevkaja in full retreat, but he gets burst down as well, and that is the counter trade coming in from Cast Aside. They're very nice for them. Let's have a look at where the coins went. We can see 5 went over to each team. Andy Lendy trying to turn in his 4, but he's going to be interrupted by Nomi in the last second there. There's the stun. In comes Falstad. And so they're going to try and actually get another kill here, and they may be able to do it. There is the lightning rod, and down he goes, and another 4 coins going over to Cast Aside, and that's 9 coins in their favour. They're going to turn in 5 here. The Vikings just soaking in the mid and the top lane for now, with Freezer doing as best a job as he can. Having a look at some of the talents, fairly normal, other than the fact that Jaina has taken the Winter's Reach talent, which increases the range of her Frostbolt by 30%. So a bit more of a single target build coming out of her. But I just had to grab my water. We're seeing a bit of a group up in this bot lane. A lot of people coming down to help defend this. Andy Lendy getting burst down again, and he gets taken out. And this Cast Aside comp just getting so much burst damage out very, very quickly. We have the spin to win coming out of the Vikings here, so just getting a bit of extra damage on their side, bit of extra teamfight potential. Freezer backing up here, taking a bit of harassment damage from Sevkaja, but he can regen it thanks to Olaf's passive. Having a look at some of the other talents, we see searing attacks coming in from Tyrande, so going very burst heavy there. Jaina taking that Envenom talent, so she can get a bit of extra damage herself, but not going for that full Ice Lance talent as it looked like she might be going for, seeing as she did take that Winter's Reach talent at the early level. Tyrael starting off with a bit of damage, but going a bit hybrid, taking the amplified healing, so he can be a bit more warrior-y, seeing as he doesn't actually have there is no other main warrior on his team, so he's actually going to have to be reliably tanky-ish in this game. And XP lead currently going in favour of Cast Aside thanks to that Viking split, so that they are getting all the XP, and the fact that ArthasS are having to group up to defend here. ETC coming in onto BKB. Lightning Rod is down onto him, but he's tanking pretty effectively here. Takes a bit of harassment damage there. Gets damage through his shields and through the healing he was getting. Now, Chase is coming in. BKB just pushing in a little bit. Nomi gets the stage, gets the power side onto Unstable. Unstable gets a shield from Tassadar, turns onto Nomi. Hungering Arrow coming out, gets a bit of harassment. BKB also harasses a little bit, does not want to give full chase here. Hydra is doing a bit of damage to Coco Brown, but doesn't want to dive too in. There comes the power side again onto Hydra. Dimensional Shift coming down, and the chase will not continue any further than that. We did see the Shadow Dagger coming down too, but once again, not gonna be enough. We do see Valor has gone for the Arsenal talent, which is a bit out of the ordinary, but not too much. This is the old standard build. When it came to multi-shot, Unstable though may not even get to use it, as he does get burst down there thanks to the power side, and huge burst coming in from coming on from the team of ArthasS. They will continue to push their way in and do as much damage as they can to this general area. BKB backing up there. Power Slide does not land on anyone this time. And ArthasS just doing so much damage. Chests are available. Olaf does get taken down in that top lane though. So a little bit of counter XP being taken there by Arthas. And having a look at some more of the talents while we're just waiting for teams to just grab these chests, basically. Oh, yeah, Balog's backing out of that. He does not want to fight. Eric also taking quite a bit of damage. There's not much attention being paid to him. There we go. He's finally going to back up. Having a look at some of the talents on both sides, we do see the Mule coming in from Tassadar. Not going to be able to help save this bottom fort, but it's nice to help heal up damage dealt by those turn-ins. Fort did go down in the bot lane. Balog taking a bit of damage, does get owled in the face, but he's going to hang around here, make sure he continues to get XP. Ice Lance is coming in from the Jaina, so continuing to go down that Frostbolt build that she has started with. And Frieza, not great on the positioning here. Vikings do get splash damage on their auto attack, so it's best to position them in an area where as many enemies are behind your original attacked one as possible, and that allows you to clear lanes super quick with Balog. Olaf in the top lane, just doing normal work, just clearing stuff up as he goes. EDC taking this easy camp, which he can do especially well thanks to that Echo Pedal talent of him. Do see Olaf taking a little bit of damage, but he's fine. He'll be able to survive that pretty nicely. Heroics are available for ArthasS. We have standard stuff, Longboat Raid, Wailing Arrow, Hinterland Blast, the Stage Dive, and the Tranquility. I want to say Maelstrom there, that's the wrong hero. So for now, we're going to see ArthasS pushing into the top lane now. They've already basically taken down everything bot, so they're trying to repeat their success in this top lane. There's a lot of people here to defend, so we may see Arthas maybe go for a counter engage once they hit their level 10s, which will be now. And we're going to see the Judgment, Water Elemental, Starfall, Strafe, which is a bit risky considering the ETC. There's the Judgment onto Grulum. Grulum gets annihilated there. Didn't stand a chance. The Vikings have only just arrived to help this out. And that was the 3 versus 3 man burst. And Arthas came out on top there thanks to just the pure burst potential, taking down Falstad straight away and resetting his stacks on his gathering power to 0. In comes the Stage Dive though. ArthasS not giving up about a fight. They're going to get the counter damage. Eric able to take down the Tyrande as she ran away there. BKB in full retreat, but it's going to be able to Elduin's Might away and escape. And we can see here, this fort back to full health because of the Tassadar Mule. So we're going to actually have to see ArthasS put in a little bit of effort to take that down if they do wish to. In the meantime, we did see a counter push coming down out of Arthas here. And Valor, so low, Valor and Hydra almost killed off there by that Hinterland Blast. Grulum doing a great job of defending on his own here, dodges the Ice Darts and takes out Andy Lendy. Strafe coming in way early from Unstable, unable to vault in as he didn't have enough mana, so wasn't able to take down Grulum there at all. So Unstable and Hydra going to continue to back out and save themselves. In the meantime, Boss was just taken by the rest of ArthasS, so they're able to put some more pressure on, and the turn-in was got by Arthas, so they're able to basically take down the majority of this top lane, and they already took down the mid fort with that as well. Going to be seeing ArthasS make their way to the turn-in as well. They have 15 coins amongst them, so they're going to be able to turn that in pretty efficiently, and even ETC on his own has 13, so he should be fine. And we're seeing no congestion here coming out of Arthas, except for the owl, but it won't reach in time, and it lands on Eric anyway with the unintentional body block. Going to be seeing ArthasS taking this easy camp, just continuing to keep the pressure on. They do have a lead, it's not a huge one, but they do have a slight lead here. And we're actually seeing Falstad going for the static shield talent here, which gives him a little bit of a shield, 5% of his maximum health for every lightning roll strike, which is a nice little consistent shield he can get, as opposed to the giant killer talent that we see the majority of people take on that level, just to give Falstad some use outside of his huge burst AP damage. But Grulum going for a more survivable talent instead of a extra damage talent. In come Arthas, looking for a pickup here. Nomi is here as well. Stage Dive coming in. Hydra and BKB, the only ones hit, but Hydra manages to dimensional shift it. Andy Lendy gets wiped out though. Frieza dropping as much damage as he can with this bow. Nomi was able to dash out. Strafe being used in retreat from Arthas there. My mouse died there for a second, but it should be fine. Hydra taking a lot of damage. Unstable moves backwards to tank a couple of those shots from the Viking longbow, so Hydra is able to survive. And Arthas backing up into their base. This fight, once again, going over in favour of ArthasS. Very nice play by them. able to clear that up nicely, and they're going to head back to the turn. They only have 11 coins this time, but still going to be nice, and there's the rest of the coins they need. They're actually going to go for this chest as quick as possible instead of for the turn-in. They get bot chest, and that will give them enough for the turn-in. fausstad also grabbing this top chest. Olaf's there too, but Olaf's just going to start getting split XP. And fausstad making his way down to the turn-in, etc. And Coco Brown getting theirs. It won't be enough, just those two. They actually needed fausstad here for that full turn-in, but now they're in full retreat as ArthasS are all alive, and they're all grouped up here. They have their level 13 talents too, so if they were to fight, it would be on relatively even terms other than that slight level advantage. Seeing Olaf just hanging around here, basically acting as a vision board, making sure he can see what's going on, and we're seeing ArthasS take care of that easy camp just to get some pressure on. Now, rolling back into this turning point, they're going to try and get it here, get at least a couple coins off of Gruelum, just so they can get another turn and get some damage done. Nomi zoning out here, trying to do as much as possible, just keep control of that area, and there they go. They get the full turn in. ArthasS looking for a pick here, but no one else is hanging around this area. Nomi even using his power slide to make sure he doesn't get caught out, just keep himself as far away from the team of ArthasS as possible, because their composition is so bursty. You do not want to get caught out at all. Having a look at some of the level 13 talents, we do have the Ice Block coming out of fausstad, very nice here, just for that extra protection. Invasion of Virtue, pretty much standard talents from the Vikings. We only see these talents taken. I'd like to see some of them get reworked a little maybe, just so we see something different every now and again. For now though, ArthasS continue to pick up coins. Sylvana's going for the Evasive Fire, just giving her that extra mobility. And on the side of ArthasS, Frost Shot, fairly standard out of Valor. The Icy Veins, which many of you may not have seen, it is extra cooldown reduction. Every time your base activate to make your basic ability cooldown recharge 3 times as fast and reduce their mana cost by 50, which is nice. So then she's going for this Ice Lance build, which already has reduced cooldowns by the Frostbolt. Freezer gonna lose Eric there. Not too much, but it means the Longboat will have a bit less health if he decides to activate it at this point. Overflowing Light on the Tyrande, extra healing. The Burning Rage coming in from Material, just allowing him to frontline a bit more, deal a bit more damage. And the Prescience, starting off that Dimensional Shift 2 talents that we get almost constantly on this level out of Tassadar. ArthasS pushing in this top 4. We're not seeing a willing fight here yet. Out of the side of Caster side, they're not willing to test it. They do have all heroics up. Stage Dive could come in if they did want to engage. Eric is on the way, so they will have everything available. ETC is hanging around this area. He has 5 coins. He may be willing to try and turn those in. And in fact, we're actually seeing Gluham fly down here as well. That will be a 14 turn-in for them, which will not be enough for the full turn-in, but they have 1 extra coin on Freezer. And if they pick up this little small camp over here, they will in fact have enough. ArthasS are going to mobilize here and move down to contest this to make sure that that turn-in does not happen. Freeze going to get interrupted by the owl, but it doesn't matter. If they get the 2 coins from that little small camp, they will have enough as is, and we're going to see them engage here. Stage Dive does not land on anyone, and Nomi getting immediately focused down. It's not dead yet. Huge amounts of shields, and we're seeing BKB Elderwinds might his way out. The Hinterland Blast bursting so hard, and Freezer able to zone out the enemy here, and this will allow the team of Caster side to turn in here. ArthasS coming in to try and prevent again. They're not done yet. Owl does deny, so Gruelum not able to take this down, and ArthasS are not finished. They want to win this fight. The root goes down to Andy Lendy. Stun onto Coco Brown. There's the strafe. That is a nice one. Nomi getting burst out so quickly. He does go down. A lot of the Vikings have already been taken down as well. Freeze gets taken down. Sevkasha is surviving on the other side. Hydra taking a lot of damage. He does use Dimensional Shift to try and get out, but he gets rooted, and down he goes. But the damage is still coming in from ArthasS. Coco Brown being dropped in. The Hungry Arrow kills off 2 there. Gruelum, last one alive, throws back his Hammerang there, trying to get himself out. And the slow lands. Will he escape? There's only one thing that can kill him now, and it does. Owl for the snipe out of Sevkasha gets the kill. Unfortunately, those coins are out of reach from everyone except for Tyrael, who does not have the health to get out of there alive. And there's not much he can do. He'd have to Elderwinds Might in, wait, and then Elderwinds Might out. Or I suppose he could Judgment to a minion, but Judgment is on cooldown for 6 seconds. And in that time, Freeze has already picked up most of the coins. He's actually missed one. But chests are available. ArthasS leaving Sevkasha back in base to defend against the minion wave. He should be able to clear that up. Not very well, because he's like the least efficient when it comes to that, but he does do it. And in the meantime, the rest of ArthasS just going to be taking this boss in the top lane. There are Vikings on the way just to scout it, but they're not going to be able to steal. Freeze was thinking about it, but not going to take the chance. Just backing up Balog there. Clear the minion wave a little, do what he can. So this golem going to push pretty hard. We actually saw the majority of Arthas heading to this a little bit, so they could be in relative safety. However, while they were all doing that, we did finally see the turn in out of caster's side, so they're getting quite a bit of damage onto this top lane. Won't be able to take down the keep, but they'll get a nice chunk of damage onto it, so they can maybe head up there and work on that later. Level 16 talents have been available for both teams for a while that we haven't talked about yet. We did see Stone Skin used in that last fight by ATC, keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Norse Force also coming out from the Vikings, extra shields, extra survivability there. Tenacious Roots from the Malfurion, just going to give them that extra bit of lockdown. The Overdrive coming out of Falstad, which is obviously nice for obvious reasons. And the singular Blood for Blood coming out of Sylvanas, as opposed to that Vulnerable talent, because they don't have any Blood for Bloods, any other Blood for Bloods in their team. So it's nice to use an ETC, just get that little chunk off. But usually in Blood for Bloods, we see a couple being taken at the same time. On the side of Arthas, we do see the double Blood for Blood, in fact, coming out of Vala and the Tyrael. Jaina is going for the Northern Exposure, so she can get that vulnerable talent off, so that Ice Lance can get huge amounts done. And if it hits a chill target, so you can vulnerable Ice Lance and get that cooldown, especially with the Icy Veins. Multiple Ice Lances would be very nice. Frieza back it up here and able to jump out of the Lunar Flare. Two-shot aura coming in from Tyrande as well. Just that huge amount of extra damage. 15% extra basic attack damage to all of her nearby allies. And we talked about it earlier, the Dimensional Shift build coming out of ArthasS. The safest build that he can possibly go, other than the little bit of extra duration that he can get earlier. Root does that onto BKB. There comes the stage dive. Nomi getting burst down so quickly though. BKB and Nomi both go down. Both tanks immediately taken out. Freeze getting worked on here by this Starfall. However, he is getting healed back up, gets a little bit of harassment down onto Hydra. Grulum giving chase here. In comes Freeze with the rest of the Vikings. There's the strafe though, and they are getting burst down quite quickly. One of them has already fallen. Will he take down the rest? Norse Force being used to allow Olaf to escape there. But that was one kill to 1.5 kills in favour of Arthas, and fights are finally starting to go their way after what was a very wobbly early game. Top lane though, pushing pretty effectively here for Team Caster side. That might make a difference here. That might allow them to keep their advantage here, or at least get their advantage back. Grulum takes both Blizzard hits to the face, actually, unable to dodge out of that. Unstable takes a full hammerang to the face, so he's going to be backing out. He also has Bolt, going to very, very short range Bolt there, just to get himself out of range so he can be back to base a bit more safely. Hardened Shield coming in from the Tyrael, making him more tanky. The upgraded Archon, Twilight Archon coming out of Tassadar. Water Elemental, Wintermute coming out of Jaina, and the Storm Shield from Tyrande. And we'll be seeing the level 20 talents from caster side once they get them. In the meantime, ArthasS back in base, clearing up that hard camp. Mule is healing up this fort, and we're seeing the turn coming in from caster side. It's not the full turn in, but it's a couple extra coins, 7 out of 18. They're making their way there. We are seeing excuse me, my water messed up my throat there for a second. 8 seconds till this easy camp does spawn for caster side. So they're hanging around there. Coco Brown can solo it, but with his team there, can take it a little bit quicker. ETC just hanging in the top lane. He's not showing himself. He's just making sure that the enemy team doesn't know he's here. So that the more vision they can deny, the better it does work out for them. Frieza just hanging around here is in fact going to be back to join his team due to the fact that ArthasS have rolled in here and stolen this easy camp thanks to BKB just zoning out here. ETC finally showing himself. He's now going to be back himself. Not going to use the stage dive yet. Does not want to get caught out as he has done a couple times now. We do have everyone back. Vikings are albeit they're grouped up. They have their Viking longboat and they're about to have the Ragnarok and roll as level 20 has been hit. There's the Ragnarok and roll. Deafening Blast coming in from Sylvanas. That extra damage. Hardened Shield from ETC and Storm Shield from Malfurion. The Hinterland Blast called the Wild Hammer. There comes the stage dive. Doesn't really hit anyone. Hinterland Blast hasn't been used yet. Waiting Arrow didn't really do that much as well. So that's a lot of heroics. That's 2 heroics down for the side of caster side. And they're now moving out here. And this could be really risky if they choose to fight here. ArthasS setting up a nice little trap here. If caster side choose to fight, they could be at a huge disadvantage without all those heroics. Nomi backing up, does get a stun onto BKB. There is the Water Elemental coming down. Strafe is also being used. There is the Ragnarok and roll coming out from the Lost Vikings. It is being healed up. There is the Judgment into the backline onto Coco Brown. Coco Brown gets taken out. Here comes the Hinterland Blast. Doesn't really do that much. Only Unstable taking it, and he tanks it with that shield. Vikings all being wiped out here by Andy Ledley. He's turning on to Frieza. Frieza gonna survive. maybe? No, Zahydra is giving chase. Yes, Frieza will actually survive with Balog unless he turns around and continues to fight here. However, down goes the Malfurion as well. That is everyone except for Balog and Falstad going down here. The Vikings, 2 of them dead in base. Falstad flying up to the top lane. I think he wanted to try and split push, but he needs to be back and defend here. But it might not be enough with 5 members alive from ArthasS. There is very little that he's going to be able to do. He's trying to go onto Unstable. Unstable blinks to the other side. He's trying to focus down anyone. BKB is now going to be the target. BKB blinks to the other side as well. Lightning Rod doing a little bit of damage, but he's not even going to be able to take him down. That is GG. And Team ArthasS move on to the next round of the Go4Heroes Cup 23, where they will play against, I've forgotten, I did this in the past, Sailor Senshi. So that video will be up tomorrow. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time.